What's up, guys? Basketball Buzz here with another video. Today we're gonna do a 2018 NBA draft redraft. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna redraft the players in the order 1 for 14, who we think ended up being 2 years removed, the best players from the draft. Obviously, this is like way too early to determine what their legacy is gonna be, but just an interesting video, interesting take on what we think these players are going to become in the future. So starting off with the first pick, we have Jacob, and it's going to be the Phoenix Suns making the first selection. So,
all right. I mean, I think this one's pretty easy. I got Luka. If it's very easy, like I don't think any of us are going to disagree. Like he's like obviously an MVP candidate already.
Yeah, it's easy for me as well. Like Luka probably going to MVP this year, and yeah, like let's see those numbers for like the first couple years, like 28 points a game, just like insane with his passing ability. So I can't disagree there at all.
Yeah, I mean he's the LeBron of the draft. It's amazing that he wasn't taken anyway in first, regardless. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, now Leo, it's your pick. So,
yeah, I think even though the Kings have De'Aaron Fox, you still go Trae. Trae, I think, has after Luka the highest ceiling, and I think honestly De'Aaron and Trae will work well together. With De'Aaron can guard that best player, and you can hide Trae a little bit. So, and I think they both. I think having two ball handling guards is something you don't really see in the NBA, but shows that it works, with Dame and CJ. And I think with De'Aaron more of a slashing guard and Trae more of a, playmaking shooting type point guard, it would work really well together.
I honestly don't know if like the distance between Trae and Luka is like that far anymore. I don't know, like the first couple games this season.
I think Trae will be a top 5 scorer in the league.
Yeah, easily.
I said that before. Now it's not
fine. He was top
5. Now it's kind of like now it's not that much of a hot take, but I said that like a couple months ago, and that was more of a hot take. But now you guys are.
He was probably top 5 last season. Why is that a hot take?
No, he was. I don't think he was.
He averaged like 29, 28.
Either way, I think
it's not a hot take.
Pick, so in this draft for sure.
A little bit of empty stats, but their stats.
Yeah, I know this year will be more of a. I mean, I saw that last year he was the second highest clutch performer out of anyone in the league.
Really?
So,
small sample size.
I mean, yeah. Well, we'll
Gotta
see.
Be,
no. Well, for the season.
Yeah, I know, but like, how many close games are there? I mean, that's interesting.
That's true.
No, but I think he can do like something significant in the playoffs. Like that's going to help his standing. Like what Luka did last year against the Clippers. If he can do a similar thing,
right. He just got to get there. Yeah, he just got to get there.
Okay. Okay. So with my third pick, let's see who's drafting here. It was the Hawks, and I had them drafting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the third pick. I don't know, is that a hot take?
Really?
Yeah, I have Shai Gilgeous. I think just like, especially this year, if Chris Paul gone, he's gonna it's gonna be his team, and he's gonna create all the plays. I think he's just like a great young point guard in the league. I was thinking of going maybe the big man in this draft was really good, but I think just because the NBA is like a guard-oriented league now, I'm taking Shai for the third pick for the Hawks. So.
I want to see who Jacob takes here, and then I'll give you my take.
I took Ayton. I definitely thought about like Shai maybe, but I think Ayton is just he's got good potential. He's already like coming out of the draft, especially he was already a pretty good pro. If you watch him, he's getting good on defense. He can start shooting it now. I think Ayton has a really bright future. Like that's just a good safe pick for any team. But Luka and Trae are just stars. I think Ayton is a good third.
I think you guys missed the third star of the draft.
You're going to say MPJ, bro. I don't think so.
He is the third star of this draft. And Shai, no. Like, Shai is going to be good just because he's by himself. If Michael Porter Jr. was on the Thunder or wherever, if he gets traded to the Rockets, I mean, he is 6'10". Like, he is so much bigger than everyone on the floor and can handle. Like, he's a bigger KD. Like, I mean, he could be that. Like, KD is just, I mean, like, if you watched him in high school, he was just he was the demigod. Like that was the 2K build. Like you wanted Michael Porter Jr. as your 2K build. And I think that he's just, if he just gets opportunity, I think he's third star in the league by far. Ayton has the tools, but I think he's going to become more of a third best player or second. I mean, he's going to be like someone that you like on your team, but he's not a franchise changer. And I think the 3 franchise changers on this in this draft are MPJ, Luka, and Trae. I think Shai's a nice player. I think Shai will be an all-star, but I don't think he's a franchise changer.
I don't know. We can disagree further on the draft. Let's see. Now we have Jacob drafting again. So
I mean, I have MPJ 4th, but I don't really need to say anything. Kind of Leo said everything about Michael Porter Jr. I have him 4th.
I don't know if I'm like that high on him just because, I mean, he's really good, but I don't know in terms of his future on like the Nuggets. I think they already have like established stars, so it's going to be difficult for him to.
But that's just stats. But we're talking about skill here. I think the best overall player, he will be the third best. He will be the third best player in this draft. And I don't think. And
I mean, I honestly think
Shai might have better stats. Shai will probably have better stats, especially this year, just because of the opportunity. But I mean, it'll be similar to, I mean, like with D Wade or someone like that, where it's like he doesn't have the most opportunity, but he's the third best. I mean, he was the second best shooting guard in the league. Like, I mean, everyone knew that. So like he's going to be an all-star and he's going to be the third best player in the draft. But I can see why you think that Shai will, be a better, stats and like he'll get more hype. But Michael Porter Jr. he's a franchise changer.
I disagree with the franchise changer part. Like he's a big risk still too.
Yeah, like Jacob said, it's not.
Like it's also like hurting your back is no joke. Like he's recovered, but like that's just no joke.
Yeah, but I think he's recovered, and I don't, especially with the technology today. I'm not really that worried. I think it goes. You got to look at injuries when they happen, and not something. Once you're recovered, you're recovered.
What I want to see from like MPJ is like him just like having the ball more in his hands and like being able to create more. So I feel like on the Nuggets he kind of just gets catch and shoot type, offensive.
I don't think so. No, they play him all over. If you watch the first game when Jamal Murray, I mean, like, so he had like 15 points and but then once Jamal Murray like got fouled out, he took over that game. He really took over that game. So like you saw the potential there, and now they're throwing it. They're giving him just like off screen, get him in the ISO. They throw him in the post because he's just so big. So I mean, like, yeah, I really have high. I think he's going to be insane.
All right, fair enough. And then that said, Leo, you're the 5th pick. So
5th pick. Okay, so that's Dallas. Here, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
I think that he could be better than Ayton.
Is this the 5th pick? You said Jaren Jackson?
Yeah. I really like Jaren Jackson because he can handle at 6'11", 7 foot. I think his rebounding ability gets limited because of Valanciunas, so you don't really get to see that. But he's a really good defensive player, and can score and can really score. So I think he also has a second star potential. I don't know. Ayton didn't impress me. I was really watching him last night because I really wanted to see if he had that star material, and he didn't impress me at all.
Yeah, he's not like
yesterday he just had fouled.
I've been watching a little bit.
He's been getting fouled.
I know, but I've been watching him for quite a while.
We all know what he is. He can average like
I think
22 and 12 in his sleep.
Yeah, but I don't think he affects.
In his sleep.
He'll get stat. I mean, yeah, he'll get stats in his sleep. But in terms of it really affecting the game, I think JJJ is going to be a better player than Ayton. I think he's a better defender than Ayton because he can guard 2 through 5, and can really shoot, and he has a handle. So I think he's going to be really good. He's been a little hampered by injuries, but I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, I think the thing about him is he has a better 3-point shot than Ayton, and yeah, I think I like him.
He gets fire. He can really catch fire. JJJ, like he can. He's probably one of gets the hottest out of the group. I mean, one of them. After Luka and Trae, like that's the ceiling.
And I think throughout his career, like to have John Morant as his like point guard that's going to be like a big plus for him for his like upside.
I
So
agree.
definitely going to look out for that. Now it's the seventh pick, right?
No,
Go six.
for the fifth pick, do we all want to share like all our picks quickly?
Yeah,
Like,
go.
ahead.
everything or no?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, fifth pick, I had Shea. We already talked about him. I don't know who you had, Yanni, for your fifth.
Oh, fifth, I had I had Jaren Jackson as well.
Okay.
So, but I mean, yeah, definitely.
go ahead.
I kind of have like preference for point guards on my list. I don't know. I mean, I kind of didn't pay attention to that, but like in the end, I have like more point guards in my top 14 and like big men. But definitely, Jaren Jackson's a good pick here. So
Yeah,
Orlando.
You got the
Orlando
sixth pick.
6.
yeah, is it Orlando?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Orlando.
Okay, Orlando. Yeah, I took Marvin Bagley here, 6th pick. I think he's like
I did the
a
same.
solid big man, just double type guy for a lot of years. And if he can develop like a nice jumper, that's gonna be a big plus for him. So
I took the
Yeah.
same. There's a reason he was crazy at Duke. I think like I was watching him a lot during his rookie season, and I actually think it was really good. Like he has like definitely has 2010 potential, but like he just keeps getting hurt. This season, this season might be a little bit slow just because there's a lot of big men on the
He's playing
Kings.
well
But
though. He had 13 and 11.
I think overall like he's gonna be good in the long run for sure. Like he can be a
I
20.
agree. Because I drafted him in fantasy this year, so I was kind of really paying attention to him, and I was surprised by how fast he is, and like similar to that James Wiseman move he made in the first game where he really, he took it off the dribble and flew through the lane and it had a left and layup. Like he has that type of game that I didn't know he had. I thought he was. I thought he was gonna. I knew he was like fast, but I didn't know he could do that. And with that ability, I think I agree that he has the highest ceiling, but he's also like scary as well with the with the injuries.
No, like literally, I just think Bagley. Like the only thing stopping him this season is just like I don't know why the Kings took like. It's kind of discouraging that the Kings signed so many big men because like Bagley is kind of that dude for them, and they kind of
He's gonna play
I
though.
don't know why they kind of bailed on him. They took Whiteside, Rashawn Holmes, all these big men. They even thought about starting Bielitsa over him. Like so much stuff
No,
going on there. It's just like not right for him. But like
He
I
plays
think
a
as a talent,
lot
he's
now.
definitely like honestly, there's a chance that he could easily be like deserving of where he actually got drafted at number 2. But we'll see.
yeah, I think that
I think no, he really gets played. He plays a lot though. I must say, like I was surprised because I was also like thinking what you were thinking about. Like, do they have Hassan Whiteside? Like he should start. Like they barely play Hassan Whiteside. They really only play Hassan Whiteside when they need to. Bagley plays, especially the first game. The second game he got in foul trouble, but the first game, like he basically played the majority of the game, and play him at the 5. They play him at the 4. Like they'd rather play Bagley at the 5 than Hassan at the 5. So that really spoke to me. Like they really want to. They really want him and De'Aaron Fox to play together. So I think it does hamper him to have Hassan backing him up because he has that pressure. But it's still his team. His 5 and 4. It's his front court.
Yeah, and the thing about Bagley is like he doesn't really play that much defense, I think. And like his fantasy value is basically just tied to, or just his value on the court in general is tied to like his points and rebounds. He doesn't really do like
blocks
stuff on the court. Like
he blocks shots.
Like DeAndre Ayton and Jaren Jackson, they have like shot blocking ability more so than he does. So that's.
I don't think Bagley's up there with them in terms of shot blocking or defense. Really.
Yeah. Well, I think that Jaren Jackson Jr. is much better than both of them as a defender. Ayton, he's very stiff on the defensive end. I would say that it's pretty much like Jaren Jackson here, and then Ayton's like here, and then Bagley's like here. I wouldn't say that Ayton and JJJ are comparable defensively, but I think Bagley could be a shot blocker, but he won't be your lockdown in the lockdown paint kind of guy.
Right.
Okay, Leo, who'd you have at 6?
At 6, I had Ayton. So
We talked about it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So should I go?
Yeah,
pick?
7.
So this is where I had JJJ. I actually really like him. I just think these top 7 players are all like really strong, to be honest.
It's a really good
Like,
draft.
when I went through this draft, I was really shocked with like actually how deep it is, and kind of going deeper into the first round and some of the second round picks even. There's been some names around in this draft for sure. So yeah, like no disrespect to JJJ, I just really like the other guys above him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very much preference at this point.
Yeah, I had MPJ actually here just because, I mean, he hasn't really done as much as the other guys in front of him, stat wise.
I think he's done more.
His potential is like top 5 for sure for me. I just need to see more from him. Like,
And what we saw him doing in the bubble, that's what catapulted him for me.
Dude, we can't let this guy talk about players that are on his fantasy team. It's like he has MPJ, he has Bagley, and he's over here like getting on his knees for them. Like anytime it's his player, he starts talking for like nonstop.
No, JJJ.
Get the bias out for this. Let's go.
Well, JJJ, I've been really hyping up JJJ, and he's not on my fantasy team.
Hey man, you got to go for your guys. I understand that for sure.
I know I really like JJJ, and I really like MPJ. I mean, those I really thought that MPJ is like he's one of my favorite players, and there's a reason why. That's why.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, because I think you're up.
I think it's you, Leo.
So then next, I have Sexton.
Okay.
Colin Sexton's pretty. He's actually he's shown a lot to me. I think he could be. I mean, he's a pure scorer. He's gonna be like, he's not someone that you're gonna want to lead your team, but he is definitely like he could be your off the ball or even you want him as the off the ball scorer. Like he scores like he can really score, and he's at that dog mentality. He plays some good D, and he really gets after it. And I think that he has quite a ceiling, and I think we're seeing that now. He's putting up really good numbers now. And especially the second half of last season, he was putting up 25 straight points, like basically a game. So, I mean, I think out of the players left, I think he has the highest ceiling. Or there's one player that hasn't been talked about yet. And
I'll tell you who I think it might be the same one. I think we might be talking about the same player here. So,
yeah,
I think he might have pick number 8. I took Devonte Graham. Actually,
yeah, I can't be mad at that because Devonte Graham is he's more of a vet.
If we go back to where the 2018 Cavs, like they didn't have Sexton or they didn't have Garland, I think the Graham could have maybe done like actually for the point guard role compared to like what Leo touched on, that Sexton's more of a scorer. Like Graham could have been a better fit at the time, and I still think Graham's probably a better player today.
Yeah.
But the reason I would say
he gets buckets. He's a good shooter. He gets buckets. Passes the ball well.
I mean, the reason I would say Sexton over Graham is because Graham is 25, and Sexton still is like 22. Like he still has years to really.
I love Sexton. I loved Sexton in high school. He was like
he was a dog. He was like the best. He was really fun to watch.
Yeah, but as far as like, I just think Graham, like in college, he was absurd. I think he was maybe the national player of the year, with Kansas. Like he was putting like he was carrying the team in Kansas. And I remember I was really shocked that he went down so far. And then kind of when he got opportunity last season in his second year, he kind of proved like really why he was that, So
yeah, I just looked up Sexton's in 21. So they're 4 years apart. So yeah, that's why I was thinking if like a lot of what like draft scouts say is like if you were to pause time and let Sexton come to 25, like, and do you think he could be better than Devonte Graham right now? And I think he would be. So
I think I took Devonte Graham here as well, but I think something that's going to hinder his like long-term potential is the fact that he has like Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball now on the same team. So I don't know if he's going to get as many like touches as last year. Like I think last year he averaged 18 points. I don't know if it's going to happen again just because LaMelo is going to be there and Terry Rozier. So I don't know if I like Colin Sexton more long-term, but I think right now Devonte Graham's better. So. With that being said, with number 9, I think this is the Knicks. I took Colin Sexton here as well. I was actually like looking this up online. I was like Colin Sexton YouTube. I was just looking it up, and apparently he had like a 52-point game last year. I didn't even know, but like
yeah, he can really score.
He's like one of those players that like for some reason he just flies under the radar.
Cleveland
like, he's like a beast. So.
I think Cleveland is the reason, really, but I took Sexton as well. It's pretty easy for me.
Yeah. This is the next.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess I have Devonte Graham, but also I would think of because I mean, I have Mitchell Robinson right here, but I would the Knicks shouldn't take him here. I would just because of it. With the Knicks, you want to go highest ceiling all the time just because you need something. And I would consider Lonnie Walker here for the
Oh, wow.
Knicks because I think he has a really high ceiling. He came out of the draft. I think he was like 18 or just turned 18. Um, he's really good. He can really jump and score. I think he could have. I think he has some really big. I think he has a really high ceiling. And if I were the
Not in my
Knicks,
top
and
14.
I think you would have to consider it if I were you were the Knicks because I think you want to draft with because he's really raw, but his ceiling is really high. But he's also a big risk. But I think that if I were the Knicks, I would consider it just because of first of all box office. Like he is like he can really jump, and also he's a really good scorer. So I think that he has some star potential that some of the other prospects don't really have, but they're safer bets.
Right. Okay. Let's see. That was number 9, right?
Yeah, so number 10 now with the Sixers.
Yeah. So that was who's picking now? I'm trying to think about this.
I'm picking probably.
Is
I
it-
think it's me.
Yeah, because
Yeah. So I would say number 10. I took who went number 10, Mikal Bridges.
I agree.
Really long. Every game he's gonna get you a steal and a block, something like that. Just like I think he's the best like pure 3-and-D player in the draft, and especially on a team like the Sixers, like next to Ben Simmons and B, that just makes them scary. I think they would be like, it's a shame they traded him. He's a good player.
I agree. With everything you said, especially I think he's the best fit for the Sixers.
Yeah. Now, I guess for the number 11 pick,
Yeah.
I agree kind of with what Yanni was saying about Mitchell Robinson. I'm not taking down DiVincenzo at 11, but I'm taking Robinson here. All he said, like, huge threat at the rim for both ends. Why not take him at 11? I think that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a free agent,
So
but
this is Charlotte.
before Wiseman, I kind of wanted Mitchell Robinson to be in the Warriors, so I think that would have been a good fit. So
I think I agree that just with Charlotte, they have no big man presence, especially even today. And I think Mitchell Robinson has one of the higher ceilings out of people in the draft. He's really raw, especially coming in. But I think he didn't even go to he didn't go to college.
yeah,
So
weird path. For sure.
yeah, so but he definitely could be. He has the potential to lead the league and to be the defensive player of the year. Like he could be a Rudy Gobert type player.
Agreed.
But who did you have, Yanni? So what? Me and Leo both had Mitchell.
Yeah, I had Mitchell here as well because I had Dante at 10.
Right. Okay. So we all agreed on this one.
Yeah, consensus for sure. And then Leo, you're at 11. So
All right. No, it's 12.
12.
Oh, it's 12.
Yeah. So the Clippers have back to back here.
Okay.
So if I'm the Clippers and they don't have Kawhi and Paul George, they're already a solid team. So I'm trying to take someone who's already a solid player. I'll take Wendell Carter Jr. here.
Okay.
I think he's a solid player. Block some shots, hit some threes, can dunk. I mean, he'll catch some lobs. So I think he's a solid player and fits what the Clippers need.
Yeah, looks like Jacob had to leave for a second there, but I agree with you on the Wendell Carter take. I think I kind of want to see him. Like at Duke, he took more jump shots and he dribbled the ball more. So I want to see him revert back to that skill set a little bit. I think having Jim Boylan as his coach kind of ruined his ability somewhat. So I think now with Billy Donovan, I hope to see him like improve his game a little bit, skill wise.
Yeah, I mean, and I took Kevin Knox. I just really like Kevin Knox, even though he hasn't really done much. I think I don't know, he's like a massive body, super athletic. Honestly, can shoot when he's feeling it. I like Kevin Knox. I mean, I don't really blame you guys for taking whoever you guys took, but I'll take Kevin Knox.
Yeah, we took Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Wendell, to be honest. I don't think he's anything like special when it comes to the center position. Like we get players like that
Yeah,
every year.
I think at this point you want solid players. I think he's gonna be a solid player.
I would have taken. Yeah, so I'm taking Mikal Bridges from the Phoenix Suns at 13. Well, he would have gone to the Clippers, but I think Mikal Bridges is a great like 3-and-D player. Kind of reminds me of Robert Covington, like in terms of his style of play. I think he's like long arms. He has a good defensive potential. So I would take Mikal Bridges there.
His arms are longer than your legs, bro. Shout out to Eddie Johnson, the Suns commentator. He was saying that yesterday. Harrison Barnes tried to take a little post move on Mikal, and Mikal like didn't even jump and just like get that out of here. Like his arms are so long.
Yeah, he's and he can shoot with that long wingspan, which is pretty impressive.
What about the other Bridges, Miles Bridges?
Miles Bridges, dude, I thought he would be really good coming out of college, but he just looks like he's gonna be a highlight type of player, like a Gerald Green.
So actually, like talking about Miles Bridges, like I originally had him here at 13 to the Clippers, but kind of on second thought, I actually really like Aaron Holiday, especially kind of what the Clippers were. Like I still don't think, I think having a score at the point is nice compared to like Pat Bev. Like I don't even know if Pat Bev was on the team in 2018, but like Aaron Holiday is a good point guard, I think for sure, especially like a late lottery.
Okay, so that would have been your pick here.
Yeah, Aaron Holiday.
Got you. Okay, and then Jacob, you finish it off here at 14.
Leah, who'd you have at 13?
At 13, I would have had. If you want to take a read, all right, so it really depends because it's the Clippers. You want to go more safe, so I would have gone like a Kevin Huerter. But if you're say with someone else, because usually at this end, I mean, let's just say that it wasn't the Clippers, and you're trying to find some, the diamond in the haystack. I would have gone either again Lonnie Walker or either Anthony Simons. I think Anthony Simons has some really good potential as a scorer. It's annoying that he plays on the Blazers with just one of the two best scoring guards in the league, but I think he's shown flashes of being a really good scoring guard. So I think those two players are the raw but have high ceiling players of the draft.
Okay, so I guess I'll go back to 14 now.
Yeah.
To the Denver Nuggets. I'll take Kostas Antetokounmpo. Nah, I'm playing.
Never know.
I probably take. I'm surprised. I'm probably gonna go with Josh Okogie. I feel like he can take that. He's a good two-way player. He can take the role of like Torrey Craig before Torrey Craig. I don't know. I think he's like a really athletic 3-and-D type of guy. I'm surprised none of us. I mean, we'll see. I guess none of us really got Mo Bamba in this draft.
That's what I was going to think. Mo Bamba. I think he's still. There's the magic of like way too many forwards and centers for him to blossom. I think at Denver, I mean, it would have been the same pick as like Bol. Like he's definitely like a project. Like he's gonna take some time, but I still think that he could be a really good player, especially because he can shoot, and with that size and shot blocking ability and defensive ability, he could be a really good player. I think he needs to get traded to really fulfill his potential.
I actually had Gary Trent here. Maybe it's a little like too much off the bubble, but like in the bubble, he went crazy. He played really good defense on LeBron. And I just think like nobody on that Portland team really, after like Dame and CJ, they don't really have any scorers like that. Maybe Melo, but I think he has like, room to grow there as a player. So that's my pick for 14. And then we have like a minute.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
But all right, I'm gonna just finish it up here. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, look forward to the next video. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Jacob and Leo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Yeah,